Welcome to another day for my Craftmas series. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm not sure what day we're on. I'm sure it'll be in the slide before this starts. And today what I wanted to do was walk you through my December daily album for last year. So typically I end up finishing my December daily album a little bit into January, or right directly over like our Christmas break I finish it up. And my December daily albums are never perfect. You're definitely going to see this one, I think, only goes to day 19. And I just lean into whatever it is I'm feeling for that year, and I just go with it. And some pages aren't perfect. Some things, you know, maybe I forget to go back and journal something, or I only make it to day 19. And my opinion with memory keeping in particular is whatever you have done is enough. There is no reason to strive for perfection. So with that said, let me dive in and share with you my December daily album for 2022. I used an 8.5 by 11 album. I got this on scrapbook.com. It's a faux like leather type album. I always cover the front of my albums, even when I use the linen albums or a 12 by 12 album. I always do something on the front because my December daily albums work as decor, or any of my albums actually, like even my Week in the Life albums, they work as summer decor, like my normal summer setup in our home for like decor. I work those albums into it. And then for Christmas, I work all of my albums all around my house into my Christmas decor so that they can be looked at during the holiday season. This one I've had open, and there's a spot in our living room where I keep albums open, and I rotate our Project Life family albums out throughout the year. And this one has been just sitting open in that spot this year. So I did cover the front of it. I did use some Mod Podge over the front of this. I noticed that today when I grabbed this, there's a little bit of like peeling from that, but not bad. And everything has stayed really well. I just used paper and a card, and then these stars here, and they're just on there by adhesive. I never expect my albums to stay perfect. I expect them to get opened and closed, and maybe tags will get lost or things like that, and there's no reason for them to sit on a shelf in perfect condition and never being enjoyed. I don't do all the work for them for that to happen, so I'm never worried. So I started out by I always put something in the front here, and then I have these tags, and I think my original idea was to have like us each write like our wish list or something on here, or add a photo of each of us, and that just never happened. The way I created the pocket is this is actually just a coffee sleeve. I think it's actually the one from Starbucks last year, and I just covered it in paper, and then I glued the bottom of it, and then I was able to add the tags, and it has all the ribbon, and it's just a fun, really fun interactive element. Then it says Merry Christmas. I used all of my Echo Park and Simple Story leftover kits, basically, like everything that I had left over, it all matches pretty well. So I just used those leftover items. Okay, so next I have a page lifter, and these are really important to have in your D-ring albums, because if your album is laying like this and somebody who maybe doesn't understand albums, they just go to close it, your pages will get bent if you don't have this page lifter in that. So any of my larger albums, I don't necessarily do this for my 6x8 albums, but for larger albums, 8.5 by 11, 12 by 12, I do that for it. So I just decorated it. I added some ribbon to it, added some paper. This is a card. And then I just did some circles, and then it's like a little bingo card. We start out the first page with a like family photo that I just snapped. And this wasn't at the beginning of December, it was the middle of December that I snapped that. I added that to the front. I did the wreath with the ribbon, and then I stacked some chipboard word phrase pieces. Next is my calendar, which never got finished, and that's okay. And then this was, instead of doing a reason why, I wanted to do like one thing that was happening every day of the month. And I had up till 20, and then I had these 3 little hearts. And you can see that it only ended up getting filled up to the 17th. So that's what I mean by things are not always perfect. When I'm doing it, my original idea was that there would be 25 of these. 25 didn't fit, and so I ended up just doing 20, and then it never got all the way filled. I like to use gold in my December daily album because it's like the holiday season, and I like it to be really glittery and glitzy and really fun. This is Christmas moments, and I just did a little bit of journaling. I did some of my favorite things and listed that. And then I also journaled a little bit about last year being a real struggle. It was like everything that possibly could go wrong last year really went wrong. I ended up in the hospital in the middle of December. There were just like everything was a struggle. And so I just journaled about that. It doesn't mean we didn't have a great Christmas season. It doesn't mean that we didn't enjoy our time together. There were just some real struggles that I had last year, and I added that in here. So the first story that I'm telling, if you're not familiar with December Daily, it really was something that was created by Ali Edwards, and it's meant, the basic project is meant to tell one story every day of December leading up till Christmas. So you just do one story, like maybe today you're wrapping presents, and so that's the story you tell. And you do it on like the day that it happens. So like day 1, maybe you're wrapping presents, that's your story. I don't really do day, like I don't do day 1. I was putting up the tree, so that's what has to be on day 1. I just do it story. So I do 24 to 25 stories in my December daily albums, and sometimes I have stories stacked up, and I just know like the next 4 or 5 days I have these stories, I'm gonna tell them. And then sometimes it is more of what's happening on the day. So for story 1, I took photos of doing my album, and I told that story of how I do that every year. The next one is Advent calendars. So, and here's a photo of each of the kids with their Advent calendars. And then that's just in a little pocket, and there's a little journaling, and then the setup, and then them that morning opening. Next is us getting our Christmas tree. I have some items that are outside of the pocket. So this was just getting our Christmas tree and some photos that we took there where we were getting our Christmas tree. And then I love the way that this page came out. It turned out so cute. I love that we were all in the photo. This year when we went to get our tree, I managed to not get all of us in the photo. Esau was not in the photo. So that was a bummer. And then decorating the tree. Sometimes I do use like numbers to indicate like this is story 3 or this is, story 12. And sometimes I don't. So here's a large photo of the Christmas tree. And then this was one of the things that went wrong. We got our tree, brought it home, got the lights out, and like none of our lights were working. We had one strand that was working, so we had to go all the way back into town to get more lights. We couldn't get lights. We couldn't find lights anywhere. Then my husband got the wrong kind of lights, and by the time he got home, it was a nightmare. So I had to tell that story. I did some die cutting and did these lights, which was super cute. And then I have a pocketed piece here of the kids decorating the tree and putting up the ornaments. The other thing was you will notice that my photos here are really blue, and that is because last year all we could find were LED lights, and they ruined all of my photos. Like they all had this blue tint to them, and I couldn't figure out how to fix that so they wouldn't be blue. So that was a little bit unfortunate. And then favorite Christmas ornament, that's another one that I did and told a story that I hadn't actually told in any of my other December Daily albums. So that was really nice. I did that. And then the other thing that I did last year, and I like to do this sometimes, is I told a story that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with our family, but it has to do with Christmas. So this is the history of the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree that they do in New York. And this was the first photo of that tree and why that tradition started. And so here is all the information about that. And then that photo, I saw that online and printed it out. And then this was last year's tree. And I have friends that live in New York. And I said, hey, if you go by here, if it's something you end up doing, can you text me a couple pictures? And so that picture is from my friend. So that was actually, you know, somebody there taking a photo. And then these were just the photos that were posted online of the tree getting set up and coming into New York and kind of that setup. So that was really fun to tell. And then I did Christmas decor. So all around the house, the different decor that I do, it always ends up getting set up differently every year. And so it's fun to look back at some of these albums and see different ways that things were set up and different ways that I liked things. We started doing this thing on YouTube. You can find these very like fun videos that are just like a living room with a Christmas tree and Christmas music playing. And we started, I started putting those on last year. It was really fun. So we did that. And then here was Christmas music. That was, and again, I was going to come back and journal and I never did. And it's totally fine. This is story 8. We have the Christmas music on the TV and the tree and the lights, which is really fun. And then I did a really large photo of candy canes. Andrew loves candy canes, and we go through a lot of candy canes in December. And then here is a little trip that Kayla and Andrew and I went on, and some things that she picked out, and a snowman that I purchased, and then Andrew with all of his candy canes. Next up, my mom wasn't able to come down last year. She is here this year, but last year she was not able to come down, which was one of the things that was hard and a struggle last year. And so she had sent me some photos of it snowing at her house. And so I used those photos, and I again was going to journal about her not being able to come down, which is what this spot was for. But I never got around to doing that. So that was this story 11. And then here is watching Christmas movies. Nobody's happy in this vote. Violet's not happy. Andrew's not happy. Kayla and Esau were happy. But again, it was one of those moments where things weren't going great and we were watching Christmas movies, and I put the photos in there, and that's what we did. So then we had to go to the mall, which we live in the middle of nowhere. So we live really out in the country. Going to the mall is an ordeal. It's like an hour and 20 minutes away. We had to go to the Apple store because my iPad broke. Another wonderful thing that happened last year. And so we went to the mall to go to the Apple store. And it's actually, we stopped by the jewelry store where my engagement ring was purchased and where Esau proposed to me. And so we got a picture of us standing in the spot where he proposed, which was really fun. And the jewelry place enjoyed that, and it was just fun to do that. So that was that story. And that is this page, and then this page. And then this, so that's that story. So then this is the next story, and it was about a broken cup that I purchased, and it came broken, and it was a whole ordeal. And so that was day 14 that I told that story. This was a play that Kayla was in. She was in The Grinch last year. And so this was the day that we went and saw her doing that, which was fun. Next is another Christmas movie that we watched here. And then we always watch, our favorite thing that Andrew and I watch is Christina Warner's 25 cards. It's her holiday card series. It usually starts right at the end of October and then goes all the way through Christmas Day. And so I took some screenshots of the cards that she made last year. I printed them out small and then added them here. And then just did some journaling and talked about how it is one of our favorite traditions. Then we did a little bit of Christmas shopping. I was supposed to come back and add some journaling to here. This was a really nice gesture. Kayla was looking at this in the store, and as we were leaving, a woman ran out to catch us and gave this to Kayla and said, I saw you admiring this and I just wanted to purchase it for you and give it to you. And it was the nicest gesture. It really just about made me cry. So the woman gave that to her and it was just a really kind thing that happened, and I meant to go back and journal that and I didn't. Then we had our Santa Claus fire truck that comes through. They do this in the county that we live. They go to all the different little communities, and Santa is on the fire truck, and it's decorated, and they do all the sirens, and they collect cans for, you know, when he comes by, you can give cans to them for like a food drive. So that was the last story that was told. I have a page right here that has a Christmas card that we kept, Kayla's like program for the thing she was in, and then a photo that I took when I was driving and it was foggy and it was just really pretty out kind of. I think this was when we were all shopping, when Kayla and Isa and I were shopping. I think I snapped this photo on our drive home and I was going to make this, but it never happened. So you can see that that's the end of my album. I covered this. The back is not covered, but the insides are. And that was our 2022 December Daily album. I really loved the way that it came out, and I just yesterday with my membership group, I started my December Daily album for this year. I'm a little bit behind getting started. I usually like to start right at the beginning of the month, but I didn't have the opportunity to get that started until yesterday. And in my membership group, I did a live and we started, I talked all about my plans for December Daily, and I have added another tier to my membership. So if you're here on YouTube and you just want a direct way to see some of those videos that I post in my membership and you don't really care to have access to the website, you can join for $4.99. You just get the videos right here on YouTube. You'll have access to them and it's super easy. Then there is a second tier for, I think it is $7.99 if I'm not mistaken, and that will get you access to the videos here on YouTube, which are the same videos I post in the Facebook group, but that also gets you access to the Facebook group. So for our lives, like the video that is posted for the start of my December Daily is a sped up version of the live that I uploaded here. And then the one on the Facebook is the full hour live. So that is the third tier. And then the fourth tier is $14.99. It gets you access to everything. So you see all the videos, you get the Facebook group, and then you also get access to the full website that has all of my memory keeping classes on there as well. So that is a really nice option, and that is a great way to support a creator, is by joining one of those tiers. I appreciate everybody who has joined and is a part of that. It is so helpful to me to be able to continue to create content and bring you content, so I appreciate that. So this was the title page. I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm back in a 6x8 album. I did some stamping, and I still have to add a couple things. I'm looking for my December stamps, so that's why these two pieces are in here. But this is the title page for December Daily 2023, and these things will be right here. And then the next one over is going to be my reason why, or my journaling, and then I also am adding some glitter to the spine of my album, which I shared in the video yesterday. And I don't know if it's gonna work. I'm just trying it out and we're gonna see. So I hope you enjoyed seeing my album and the start of this year's December daily album. I'll be back tomorrow with another Craftmas video. I hope you're all having a wonderful December, and I will chat with you guys later.